And they see these things online of people like living the dream life. And they're like, I want the dream life. I want to have all of that shit. But when it's time to make a hard fucking decision that all of the people that are successful have made, including myself, they don't want to make the fucking choice. Don't complain about the results you do not have for the work you have not done. I don't know what it is about the world right now. The whole fucking world. If it was a global shutdown, if it was the little checks that people get from the government for basically not working because they lost their job, blah, 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 whatever the case might be, there's something about the world right now that just reeks entitlement. And I think that a lot of people just want things handed to them. I think a lot of people aren't willing to understand that it takes blood, sweat, and fucking tears and sacrifice to get what you want in life. There's so many people that want to make more money, but they don't level up themselves. They don't read books. They don't listen to audiobooks. They don't do things to become more valuable to the world, which would then in turn give them more money. They just want the money. There's people that want to level up in their lives, upgrade their houses, upgrade their cars, upgrade their lifestyle, upgrade all of these things. And they see these things online of people like living the dream life. And they're like, I want the dream life. I want to have all of that shit. But when it's time to make a hard fucking decision that all of the people that are successful have made, including myself, they don't want to make the fucking choice. When it's time to wake up at just early in the morning, it doesn't have to be like 3 o'clock. It doesn't have to be 4 o'clock, even 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. For me, that's late as fuck. But maybe it's just waking up a little bit earlier. They won't do that. They won't go to the gym because it's cold. They won't go to the gym because it's uncomfortable, it doesn't fit into their schedule, but they want to be more fit. They want to have a better health and lifestyle. When it comes to eating right and looking good and feeling good and giving yourself the proper energy, they just won't give up the stupid shit, the fast food, the drinks, all of the things that don't actually serve them because it's more comfortable to eat like shit, drink a lot of like booze, smoke weed, whatever it is that people do to stay comfortable nowadays. It's a lot easier to do that shit than stay disciplined. People want to make money, but they're not willing to do sales. They're not willing to talk to people. They're not willing to like make offers to people. People want to make money online. They're not willing to create online content, put themselves out there in front of the world because they're afraid of judgment. They want to have people invest into themselves, into their businesses, but they're not willing to invest into themselves or their business. It's lack of congruency. I don't know what the fuck it is, to be honest. When I first started coming up in the online space, after I lost my job during the global shutdown, just like everybody else, I was the first to go. I knew I had two choices. I'm either going to fight everybody to work at a 9-to-5 job, and the only thing I could think about was like McDonald's. McDonald's is probably one of the biggest companies out there, so fuck it. I guess I could work there. But you know what I thought about? I thought about the life that I was going to give my children. Like, I had my first on the way. Nothing was going to stop that timeline. But I always ask myself, even though this is a hard time, even though I'm being tried more than I ever have in my life before, and like everything's going against me, what kind of life do I want to create for my kids, for my daughter, for my wife? What kind of life do I want to create for them? Like, am I willing to sacrifice who I currently see myself as to become who I need to be to provide the life that I know that they deserve? Am I willing to be that? And I'm telling you right now, in the first year, that 2019, 2020 year, the most trying time of my life. New husband, new dad, lost job, fucking worried about how to buy diapers, how to keep food on the table, how to keep everything going for us. And the world was like so in the unknown. We didn't know what the fuck this global shutdown meant. We didn't know what it all meant for us in the future. We didn't know like what was going to happen. There was so much fear. There was so much chaos. Like every time you go out, there's like a new strain of something that could kill you, apparently. Then you have vaccines that could apparently kill you too because they're not battle tested. I don't know. Like there's just so much uncertainty. But here's what I did and here's what I didn't do. What I did was accept how hard it's going to be. I accepted that this is going to be a hard fucking path. I accepted that for what I want for my family, I'm going to have to pay a price nobody's ever going to fucking understand. I'm going to have to become who I need to become to provide that life, to provide everything that I can envision for them. And nobody, not even my family, is going to understand the price I have to pay on a daily basis to become that person, to continue being that person. And I had to accept that. Most people reject who they have to become. Most people want to stay exactly the same, have the same exact variables, but they want different results in their life. And that's not fucking possible. That is not realistic at all. You cannot possibly get to a level of success as the version of you right now, because if the version of you right now was good enough, you would have everything you fucking want, and you don't. So you have to accept that you're not there yet, and you're going to have to become and unbecome everything you once thought you were. It's required. It's a must. The next thing that has to happen is I had to really accept that it's going to take a lot of fucking work, and things are not going to go my way. And as much as I can hope and dream and blah, 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 in my family, I say we don't hope. We do. We execute. We have to get the shit done. We don't just sit here and fucking hope and pray that somebody's going to come to save us, because nobody's going to save us. We have to save ourselves. I had to save us. I had to make sure I did the work, even failure after failure after failure. And here's the thing that people don't understand. You will see thousands of failures before you see your one success. You will see thousands of failures before you see the one success. And you have to get battle tested every failure not to give up, because life, God, the universe is asking, are you fucking serious this time? Are you actually going to stick around through the hard times this time? Are you actually going to learn the lessons that I'm teaching you right now? So that way you never have to deal with this shit again, because you're going to be strong enough after this. Or are you going to give the fuck up? What is it that you actually want to do? Because you keep saying that you want success. You keep saying that you want to get to that next level. You keep saying you want to be this massive fucking influence in your life and business. But are you willing to actually pay the price to be great, to be the greatest in the game? And every single day I had to pay that price. And again, I had to get beaten down every single fucking day for what felt like probably a year. I had to get beaten down leading up to the global shutdown, right? Major car accident, fucking baby on the way, lost job, global shutdown, all of that shit. I had to deal with it all. And even on the come up, once I decided to go online, I had to get very uncomfortable. I had to fail. I've made investments that didn't pan out, that didn't work out. And I just had to keep taking those as lessons. I just had to get hit and just get the fuck back up each and every time. Most people aren't even willing to get hit once. They just want to have it all easy, like a fucking rainbow and sunshine. But it's not how it works. You're going to get beaten the fuck down. You're going to get so beaten up that you're just like, damn, am I doing the right fucking thing right now? Am I even on the right path? Should I have actually done this? Did I just risk everything for no fucking reason? Is this the end of the fucking journey? Is this how far I'm actually going to fucking get? And the truth is, in those fucking moments is where you really find yourself. Are you really going to break down? Are you really going to give up? Are you really going to let all of the things that are happening right now in your life, is that the thing that's going to make you choose to give up? Because if you're giving up now through the hard times, you don't deserve the good times. Because the people that get to the good times are the people that stuck around through the hardship, like the true hardship. Not just one time, not just one day, not just 1 week, not just 1 month, for fucking years. And being able to take that fucking brutality of life, that's what it is. And you finally, after you finally feel like you're finally going to fucking give up, and you're just like holding on. And it's like you're fucking holding on by a fucking piece of floss. There's not much left in the tank. You're asking yourself, how much further can I fucking go? How much further can I hold on? I'm just holding on. I'm just showing up. I'm just trying to do the work one step at a fucking time. At some point, everything's going to flip. The switch will happen. And you will see some results. And your hope is going to increase. Not that you're hoping, but your hope that you did this and it was for something. You're going to start seeing results, and then you're going to hit a wall again. And you have to expect it. And you have to expect that even when something starts going your way, you will again get in your own way. You're going to get complacent the moment you start feeling that win. And that's the lesson you have not yet learned. So you got to learn the lesson for long enough until now you don't get complacent. Now you just show up all the time, because that's what it takes to be the best. And then at some point, you're finally going to get to the level where it's life-changing for you. And you finally find yourself, because you stuck through the dark times. And people don't understand that the dark times, it's different for all of us. It's different for me. It's different for you. The timeline that it takes for you to get from where you are to where you want to be, it's different for all of us because we all got different shit we got to work through. We got different belief systems. We got different limiting beliefs. We have different levels of confidence. We execute at a different level. Fortunately for me, I spent 7 years as a machine gunner. I could take a lot of fucking weight. I can take a lot of distress. I can take a lot of that shit. I'm emotionally resilient, but that doesn't mean it's not hard, motherfuckers. That's what I'm telling you. You just have to learn how to get through the times. You got to take the day at a time. You got to take the minute at a time. You just got to keep taking that left foot, right foot forward. But you have to understand that is the work. That's the work that gets to the result. That's the thing that nobody wants to do because it's the most fucking uncomfortable thing. And you have to remember that everybody says that they want to be successful. Everybody wants the life. Everybody wants to do the things that only the top 1% people do. But fuck, are you paying that price? Do you even understand the price that you have to pay to be that person? Do you even understand that at every level, you're going to get stripped down again and you're going to start from level 1 again at that level. You're going to get stripped to the bone again and you're going to have to rebuild yourself again. Guys, it doesn't stop at any level. You just have to keep growing. You have to get more resilient. You have to understand that if you get to a level, that doesn't mean that you're entitled to stay there. If you get to the level, you have to earn that spot every single day to stay there. Think about it. If you're an athlete, if you're an Olympian, just because you win the gold medal doesn't mean you're the Olympian forever. Doesn't mean you don't have to train for the next Olympics. Doesn't mean you can just kick back, start drinking booze all the time and eating that Burger King. And then by next year, you're just automatically going to get the gold again. That's not how it works. Every single day you have to show up. Every single day you have to earn it. Every single day is more failure. Every fucking day. And you fail and you fail and you fail so that way you can learn everything that's working and not working, and that's how you find your path. Most people are not willing to do that. They're so entitled to success, but they don't understand that the reason why only a small few of us actually attain the level of success that's life-changing, it's because what we're willing to sacrifice, what we're willing to do to go all in on us all the time because that's how we believe in us. You have to sacrifice your ego. You have to sacrifice your pride. You have to be able to ask for help when you need help. You have to be able to say, hey, fuck, bro, like I don't actually know like what I'm doing. Like I tried my best and shit's not panning out. And you got to be able to say that shit because some people really do think that that's weakness. But that's the greatest strength, to realize that you don't know what the fuck to do. And that's okay because if you knew what the fuck to do, you'd, again, already be there. And people like put themselves through hell because they have too much fucking pride to reach out and say, hey, I'm going through a fucking hard time and I don't know what the fuck to do. I'm going to keep pressing on, but fuck, I don't know what to do and I need some guidance. I need some help. You got to understand this path of life, this path of entrepreneurship, this path that we're all on to get to the next level requires you to know your left and right lateral limits. You have to know the things that you can do and cannot do for the moment. You have strengths and you also have weaknesses, but that doesn't mean you're weak. That's called self-mastery, when you know where you can be more proficient or where you can get help, get leverage in the places you lack proficiency. Just really, really understand, man. Like if you're finding yourself complaining that you're not where you want to be in life, I mean, you got to ask yourself, would you say that to would you complain to Michael Jordan that you can't make a three-pointer? Do you really think Michael Jordan will give a fuck that you're complaining you didn't make a three-point when he had to miss tens of thousands of shots, when he's had to dribble that ball for days on end just to get it right, where he's had to spend countless hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades practicing the very thing that you're complaining that you cannot do? Do you understand that other people are willing to pay a price that you haven't paid, which is why they've achieved the level of results that you haven't gotten yet? Next time you start complaining about where you're not, start asking yourself, who am I not right now? Because I keep saying that I want these results, but who am I not being? Because what a lot of you have to understand, and this is what I tell my clients all the time, if you're not achieving the results, stop giving yourself so much damn credit for being good because you're not that good. If you were that good, you wouldn't have that fucking problem. If you were that good, you wouldn't be stuck right now. And you have too much ego to say otherwise. And that ego is the very thing that's going to hold you back from getting to your next level, because people at the top level don't have that negative ego where they don't know how to be a student to the game when it's time to be a student to the game. The reason why most people create the best leaders is because those leaders are the best fucking students. For me on the come up, I'm always a student. Even to this day, I'm a student. I don't know everything. I don't need to know everything. I'm just great at what the fuck I do. But I know I'm a student to the game. I know when somebody starts preaching about something that I'm like, oh, that's a great fucking idea. I'm not like, I knew that. Ooh, I know better than that. No, motherfucker. Like, that's not the way to think. That's where you cap your growth. You have to understand that more people that are more successful than you got something going that works that you don't know about. And you don't know what it took for them to be able to get there. You don't know what it took for them, the sacrifices that they had to make, the investments they had to make, the time away from their friends, their family that they had to make, the sleepless nights, the nights where they're staying up all fucking night to get work done. You have no fucking clue the price that they've had to pay to just get to that level. And you might have paid that price like for one day, but can you imagine the person, the savage that pays that price day in, day out for years? You're never going to be able to catch up if all you do is put out one day out of the fucking month, one day out of the fucking year. Oh, new year, new me. I'm going to put out in January, and then for the rest of the year, I'm going to fuck off. If that's you, that's why you're not achieving results, because you're not consistent. You're not disciplined. You're not on the path. You fall off on your own path. So of course, you're not going to believe yourself. So all you have to do to get the results that you want is to stay on the path. Do the hard work that nobody else wants to do. Do the hard work that everybody wants to complain about, that it's hard, that it's difficult, that they can't figure it out, that it takes too much time. There's a motherfucker out there like me that makes time. There's a motherfucker out there like me that figures it the fuck out. If I have to Google my ass to the answer, YouTube my way to doing it. There's a person like me out there that will take all of your excuses and ask myself, well, how can I? How can I get it done? Because that's the mentality that's always served me. That's the mentality that got me to the level where I actually enjoy my fucking life and what I do. And you have to understand, at some point you just get so strong that you can handle all of the things, and you can just continue trusting that the path that you're on is the exact path you need to be on, and you're moving at the speed in which you need to. But you're not entitled to skip the line, skip steps. You're not entitled to that shit. You got to pay the price of success, and you have to burden that for as long as you fucking need to, because God knows when that fucking trial is going to end. You don't know. You don't know if this is like for a month. You don't know if this is for a year. You don't know how long you're going to be paying that fucking bill for until you actually see that ROI in your effort. And everybody fucking gives up before they see that return. You ever see that fucking image of two people, and they're digging and digging, and one is just 1 foot away from the diamonds, from the gold, and they turn their back on it and they stop, and the other person doesn't. That's the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. But the thing is, we don't know where the end is. We never know where that gold is. We never know where the diamond is. All we know is all we can do is keep digging and digging and digging, and knowing that we're on a path, trusting, having faith, surrendering to that path. That is the only way we're ever going to move forward. That's the only way we're ever going to self-actualize. And on that path, there might be some gold there. There might be some diamonds there, but it's not the jackpot. Go after the big shit. Don't get fucking distracted. Don't get complacent just because you find a little bit success. Fuck that. Go for greatness. You've been digging this fucking long. You've been pushing this fucking long. You've been sacrificing and paying that price for this fucking long. Do not give up now. Do not find all the reasons why it's too difficult. Ask yourself, how can I get through this next day? How can I get through this next decision? How can I get through this next season, this next month, this next year? How can I? What are you willing to do to become who you think you want to be? What is the price you're willing to pay to outperform everybody else in the world who just talks? You have to understand that complaining about where you're not is never going to get you anywhere. Taking action, massive amounts of messy action, is the thing that's going to separate you from you. It's going to separate you from the rest of the pack in this world. Everybody else that just fucking talks. Because all those people who just talk will find every single fucking reason to sabotage themselves, why they won't wake up, why they won't go to the gym, why they won't work on their business, why they won't work on their family. There's always going to be a reason why. they have to fail. It's because they're not strong enough. Body, mind, and spirit. You have to stay focused. This is your life's work. The whole purpose of everything that we do on a daily basis is to achieve our life's work. And part of that life's work is understanding what the fuck our life's work is. Everything's a layer. Everything's a season. Everything's helping you in your next evolution of life. And when you live a purposeful life, where on a daily basis, all you do is show up as the best fucking version of you, leveling up your life, knowing where you want to arrive at, knowing that this is where I'm orienting my life. So that way, at some point we can get there. It might be a year from now, it might be 5, it might be 10 years, but we're getting there. And I'm willing to pay the price nobody's willing to fucking pay so I can have the results nobody fucking has. And you have to hold on to that belief, and it's going to be the hardest fucking path. It's going to be the hardest thing that you've ever asked of yourself. It's going to be the hardest thing in the moments where you lack the least amount of fucking belief in yourself, where you doubt yourself the most, where all of the fear feels like it's engulfing the body, the mind, the spirit, all of its darkness. In those moments is where you fucking find yourself. In those moments is when you hold on and really understand that there's a part of you that you deeply trust. And you have to surrender to that process. You have to surrender that it's not going to feel good as you grow, just like at the gym when your muscles are tearing. It doesn't feel good to be sore. But you know it feels good because you know what it's going to do for you. If you can take that to life, if you can take that to business, if you can take that to everything that you do, you will succeed because you won't give up. Just by sticking around, just by showing up, you've already won half the battle. This is the battle that most people lose. But again, are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to pay the price to get the results nobody else has? Or are you going to be one of those people that constantly complains about the results that they don't have for the work that they have not done? You got to ask yourself, what type of motherfucker do you want to be on a daily basis? Every single day, seek that version of you that you can be proud of. Every single day you sleep, you fucking knock out because you got nothing else in the tank. And you literally don't even remember going to sleep because you have so much fucking energy. You have zero energy because you left it out on the fucking battlefield. You got nothing left. And you wake up tired as fuck and you just want to get some fucking rest, but you know that your purpose is calling to you. You know there's something bigger out there waiting for you to find it. And every single day you dig for that version of you. You dig, you sacrifice everything, your ego, your pride, all of the things that do not serve you anymore because you're worth it. Your mission is worth it. Your purpose is worth it. Everything and everyone you're doing it for is worth it. And that's why you keep showing up. Do not be one of these entitled motherfuckers out there who think that they're just going to be handed success. Because there's motherfuckers like me that will show you who the fuck you're not on a daily fucking basis. You choose who the fuck you want to be. No more fucking excuses. Execute and send it.